Hey, what's up, guys? We're going to be doing another VOD review here today for Lampa Duck. He's a plat-ish player, I believe, and he's going to be playing Omen on Pearl. So for all you controller mains, I think this will be a good VOD to look at. I'm actually a controller main myself, so I think that I'll be able to give it a lot of good feedback here. So starting out this round, we're going to have him playing mid right now, and I think that there's a really good takeaway here. It's lame, but I think it's important. So he has a smoke here. He's going to be sitting outside of Doris. He hears sound, so he's listening. Clearly, I understand he's making this play. He's making this play off of the noise that the enemies are making. Sweet. He actually comes out with a kill right there. So that's actually pretty good. He's already ahead right here. It's 5v3. That's awesome. And now he rips the blind and he continues to keep going. Goes for the crazy flex under Omen TP and he ends up dying because of it. Now Reyna's going to be healed back, so he didn't even do any damage to the Reyna at the end of the day, right? And it's just kind of frustrating. So the thing I'm going to say about this, I don't actually know if you do. Let's see if you end up winning this round. It's 0-2. Uh-oh. They went B. Uh-oh. Looks like you lost the round. Uh-oh. So I think that this is even more important than based off of that. When you go for this play, I want you to look at where your teammates are. You have a teammate A main. You have a teammate backside. Where are your other teammates? Teammates spawn. Sorry, both of them spawn. They're really pixelated right now. It's just the recording quality, I think, or the watch quality. I don't really know. It could be Dropbox. So the problem right now is that you're making a solo play. You killed the sky. You robbed the bank, as we talk about in our videos. You came out here. You got a kill that you probably shouldn't have gotten. You walked out solo and you killed one. That's awesome. You can leave. Just leave. It's a 5v3 right now. You never lose this, right? Now you went for the aggressive play. It would be really sick if you got three of them right here. You TP behind them, you kill the Reyna, you kill the Fade or whatever. But you didn't. You lost because you dueled three people alone, right? And now they're gonna go B and they're gonna play at the spike and then they're gonna win, right? Because we already know what happens. Now I don't know about you. I don't want to be the lame guy that's telling you not to make solo plays and like not to go for stuff like that. However, I don't know about you, but this doesn't feel good. Losing a round like this when you're up 5-3 or 5v3, that this doesn't feel good. And over time, I kind of sucked it up, and I was like, you know what? I care about winning much more than I do about landing a cool clip. So I don't make plays like that anymore. I mean, every now and then you're not ready, you're really feeling it, but this never feels good losing around like this. So um, it's worth talking about. I know it feels lame telling you not to go for those TP plays and stuff like that. You can do them, just don't do them when you're alone in mid like that. Do them off of teammates' utility to help you out or something like that. When you need it, sometimes there are situations where you need a play, right? You're down numbers, you can go for that. But when you're up numbers 5v3, take the kill and get out. Just leave. You don't need to go for more. And I think this is going to really help you improve since you're in plat. I've been looking at bronze VODs all day. Now that I'm looking at a plat VOD, I can tell you the serious stuff because I think that you're going to see a lot of improvement by just playing less risky. You don't need to do those things. You just don't need to. So yeah, we'll move on. So because I said that, I really want to dial back and just talk about situations in which it's good to do that. So right now we have a situation in which I actually kind of like this play. It's not horrible. And that's because you're doing the same thing, right? You hear a lot of noise right here. It seems like you're very conscious of it. You're paying attention to the map, and I like that's awesome. Keep doing that. When you walk out here, you're doing fine. You have a Spectre. It's like your team's on an eco. You don't really have a lot to lose right here. Right, if you die, then it's like whatever. Now this is a weird smoke by the enemy. If he's smoking right here, I'm gonna kind of assume that they're keen to the fact that you could be here. So I'm probably gonna kind of ignore this. I might even just walk around this way to be entirely honest, or like sit around here and just be like a really like annoying thorn on their side, you know, make it like difficult for them to rotate out. The other thing to keep in mind is that if they're all here and your entire team is here, this is a possible rotate. You know, I know it's a new map, so it's gonna be kind of like hard to pick up, but yeah, you walk into the smoke, you end up dying. It's kind of like whatever because you're on eco, like I said. But it's just something to keep in mind. That I just wanted to point out that it's like this is an okay opportunity to do this. I mean, like it seems like something you guys bought. It seems like you actually full bought too. You probably wanted to save the previous round so that you could actually full buy this round. But like, yeah, if you're gonna have a Spectre, you're gonna make a play like this, then it's like whatever. But like when you have a rifle and you're making a play like this, then I'm just like, okay, what are you doing? You know, you're kind of just trolling. But if you have a Spectre and you're like teams on eco, then it's like whatever. Right here, once again, I don't really like the buy. But I think in theory, making a play like this with a Spectre is a lot better than making a play like this with a Vandal. So yeah, also just save more, but that's beside the point. So I saw something in this round that seemed just kind of like awkward, and I kind of wanted to guide you a little bit in this regard for playing retake as a controller or just doing anything as a controller. So controller is going to be a very important role to kind of be a leader for your team. You probably want to communicate a little bit more than other roles. Duelist, I mean, every role should honestly be capable of communicating, but specifically with controller, because you have a lot less like direct power. It's really helpful if you're able to communicate a little bit more effectively. So what happens right here is that you see that there's actually two Hall right here. You saw two of them on the map. I believe it was the Fade and the Reyna. So you actually have a good idea. You're gonna go for your blind and you're gonna try to push them. This blind is gonna be super powerful in a spot like this. But the problem is you don't really you communicate that you're gonna blind, but you don't really communicate what your intention is with this, right? What I would like to see from you is when you blind, try to get your Sova to know that he's going to capitalize off this. So you can rip your blind from like lower. You can even come down here and you can blind this entire area, right? And then your Sova could have run up off of this, and he could have tried to kill them if you like communicated with him. If you're like, "Hey Sova, I'm gonna blind this. Can you try to run into elbow and kill them?" Like if you say something like that, you're gonna really like coordinate a plan, and you can actually go for this retake and actually get something accomplished. But you didn't do any of that, and instead you kind of like you threw your blind, and by the time that you get here, they're unblinded, right? This is why Omen's considered a support, and he's not like a duelist. A lot of people will be like, "Well, he has a teleport, he has a blind, that makes him a duelist, right?" But in reality, it's like you can't really do these things very easily. You can't blind it from a great spot and capitalize off of it all at the same time. But you can blind for your teammate and he can capitalize off of it. Your Raze right now is in Narnia. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of just like, he's not going to make it. Sometimes I'll wait for teammates. Like if the Sova, you need to wait for him for a little bit and he's like standing back here. Maybe it's worth it. But it just kind of sucks that it's like, you try to make a play here, you try to like save the round, but you can't do this alone. You need to like coordinate with your teammates to try to make some sort of play out of that. Oh, and I just want to add that if they don't listen to you or it's like impossible to coordinate with them, then that's just what it is. It is what it is. You know, it's like there's only so much that you can do. But right there, you didn't even try, so you don't even know. You know, that's kind of like the problem. All right, so here's another key thing that I noticed from just watching you. So this exact same thing is gonna happen again. It happened earlier in a round, and I didn't really review that round, so anybody watching this isn't gonna know. But Lampa, you know, and that's the important part. This Fade ulti is coming in right now, so you could have looked up at the pre-round and noticed that Fade had ulti. What she did last time was she ulted this area, and she came back here and she did it again. What happened last time is you hit in a smoke, and then you got Fade prowlered because the ulti tagged you, so the prowler went straight for you. You got weeded out and you got killed. So you kind of adapted a little bit. Now, rather than playing in the smoke, you're playing right here. But the same thing's happening. The same exact thing. You get Fade ulted, you get prowlered, and then they swing you off of the prowler, and there's not a lot that you can do. Right? You pull out your blind. There's like blinds coming out of you. It's just a util and stuff like that. So basically, what I want you to do is whenever you get absolutely rocked by something, and you know what? Maybe it's not even the first time. Maybe you get absolutely rocked by it once and it's like whatever, you forget about it. It happens again. If you get your shit rocked by something twice, you need to adapt. I want you to, next time that you see Fade has ulti and you're alone on site and nobody's here to help you, you're not playing on site. You're just not doing it. You're going to play retake. Maybe you play back here or something. Maybe you play back here. Maybe you push R or something. But you're not making this play alone because you're just going to die. It's just not worth it. It took me a while to kind of learn the same thing. But it's like, you can't anchor site alone. You just can't. Physically, like, I mean, like maybe in bronze, maybe in the past, you've been able to sit here and you get like 3 with your Spectre. But you're trying to make a hero play right now. You just don't need to. You could just give them the site. They earned it. You know, like they use the Fade ulti. They use the Reyna blind. They use the Prowler. It's like whatever. Just have it. So that's kind of like the idea behind it. It just sucks that you died, but you really need to learn from your mistakes if you're looking to improve. If you're like trying to hit like the higher ranks, because you're plat 1 right now, which is pretty decent. But like if you want to hit like Immortal or like you want to hit Ascendant, you need to start learning from these things and you need to adapt to them. So right now you haven't adapted yet in this game, and it just kind of sucks to see because that's gonna happen every time. Okay, I just needed to talk about this because this is like the 5th or 6th different eco weapon that I've seen you have. So this round you have a Bucky. This round before you have an Ares, I think. Yeah, you have an Ares right now. The round before that you have a Spectre, I think. Yeah, you have a Spectre right now. The round before that you have a what do you have in Biphase here? You have another Spectre. So basically, what I'm seeing is that you don't save ever, and the whole game is based around Vandal and Phantom. The whole game. That's for the one-hit headshot. That's these ranges that you're going to be dueling people from. You really need to be getting these guns in your hands to actually improve at the game. Because right now, what you're doing is you're using these Spectres, you're using these eco weapons, Buckies, Ares, and stuff like that. you're just never gonna actually get like you're never gonna improve your mechanics. You're with the Spectre, you're gonna be running gunning about half the time with this thing. Its a spray pattern is just horrible, so you never tap fire with a Spectre, which is a very fundamental part of using rifles, right? With a Bucky, it's just a shotgun, so you have to play these close ranges. You're forced to take different engagements. With an Ares, you're gonna be ADSing. Notice how none of these skills actually build you up to use these better guns. You're just gonna get worse, right? So in reality, if you really want to get better at this game, you need to stop force buying every round. I know it sucks. Saving sucks. It's never fun. What you can do instead during a save round is you can use a sheriff, and you can, if you want to force up something, buy a sheriff and then go for those headshots. I know that you might suck at it at first, but you're gonna eventually have those kills where it's like you get a one hit to the headshot, you can pick up a vandal, or you can pick up a gun off of the enemies, and you can use that to win the round. But if you're force buying every single round, you're just not learning the game. It's just gonna hold you back. Is the unfortunate part, right? When you go down 0-7, part of the reason is because you literally have worse guns than them. You literally just have straight up worse guns. I don't know what happens at this round. Okay, this is the Ares round I'm at. Yeah, you're just gonna end up losing more rounds because of it. So I know that it sucks. I know that's not fun, but you're just gonna have to save more if you really want to improve at this game. So I thought it worth mentioning. Okay, I just wanted to showcase this round to showcase you getting punished for the same thing again. I'll explain it in kind of like this way. So you're throwing down your smoke, right? Whatever. You have your Spectre again, force bot. So we don't use the Fade ulti this time, but what I do want to talk about is this is what we call this angle right here. This is a one and done. And a one and done basically refers to the fact that you are going to at most get one kill and you will get traded. Because the whole game operates around trades, just as it does with rifles and stuff like that. Playing close to a teammate, you're never against good players. You're never going to get more than one from this spot, unless you have like a really clutch flash or something like that. With a Spectre, especially since the time to kill is going to be lower. Basically, what happens, you see the blind come out, you have to shoot the blind, then a dog comes out. If this dog targets you, you have to shoot it, right? But you're just like shooting so many things, and your recoil's kicking in. When this Reyna swings you, you get killed, and it's like even if you don't kill the Reyna, you're gonna get traded out by the Phoenix who's right behind her, right? So it's just like, yeah, you don't want to play in spots like that, especially as an agent like Omen. Now, an agent who might play this spot would be somebody like Yoru. Yoru could play in a spot like this and TP out afterwards. Chamber could play in a spot like this and TP out afterwards. Even maybe a Reyna could get away with it, right? She dismisses and goes here or something. But you can't play this spot as Omen because you're far too valuable for your team. What I instead would do, play back here, have your blind out. So when you see the Reyna blind come in, you rip your blind like a second or two afterwards, and you can do something like that, and then you could swing off of it. And everybody in this area is going to be blind, and you can pick up free kills. But when you're playing in a spot like this, you're leaving yourself with no cover and very susceptible to getting hit with utility and getting killed. So yeah, generally it's just like a positional thing right there, but it's also like the weaponry and stuff like that too as well. But I just thought it worth commenting on because again, you've died in the spot like 3 or 4 times now, and you're just not adapting to it. So for our final round that we're going to talk about, it's not even like a horrible mistake, but I just want to talk about like the risk reward thing again. So remember earlier when we talked about that 5v3 and you ended up losing the round because of like a play that you made? Not inherently, obviously your teammates could have done stuff, but it's like you threw your life away kind of for like no reason. A similar thing's going to happen here, but it ends up actually working out for you. So you're in a 3v2 right now, and notice your teammate's positioning. Sova cannot help you. KO's across the map, right? And you're going to go for an aggressive play, but the main problem is this KO, right? He is in Narnia right now. Like, he cannot stop a spike diffuse if it starts coming in. And that's a problem for you, because if you go for this play, say you jiggle it, like whatever, you're going for the blind and you go for the TP play. Now, luckily in this situation, you blinded both and you're able to come out with a kill. You get traded out immediately, okay, whatever. But the problem is if you don't come out with one kill here, and say, for example, it ends up being a 2v2, your KO is still like kind of in Narnia. Like, they could smoke the spike and maybe they go for the defuse. And now it's like you kind of just threw your life away in a position where, okay, it was a 3v2 anyway. You group up with your teammates and you secure the round. You just play the post play and it's a 3v2. It's like you already have numbers. You trade each other out. You just win. But basically all you did is you cemented the man advantage. So you guys were up one person before this. You're up one person after it because you made this aggressive play and you ended up going 1-for-1. That's not really great. Like, you didn't really do anything for your team right here, right? You didn't get your team any closer to winning, like kind of. But you were up one person, you're still up one person, right? It doesn't really change anything. This Omen could still end up clutching this out, even 1v2. You're going to be much better off climbing in the future if rather than making these aggressive plays like this when you're up numbers, if instead you just say, hey, we're up numbers, this is sweet, I can fall back and I'll play with our Sova. You're just going to throw less rounds because of it. Now, you didn't end up throwing this round. round, but you did end up throwing that round earlier. So I just wanted to comment that it happened again. This is like a common theme that we're seeing. So it's like I know that making these aggressive plays is fun. There's a time and a place for them. I just like I would prefer it if you did it when you guys are down numbers and you need some sort of like big impactful play to actually win, rather than when you're up numbers and you already have the round and all you have to do is secure it. But yeah, that's kind of like a chalk up this video. The big things that we talked about were kind of just like playing your one and dones and learning from your mistakes when you're playing a position like this. Kind of not playing that hero role. If you're the only one on site, you can fall back and you can play off site. And you, like when the fatality comes in, you can play retake with your team. You'll have your blind. It'll all be great. You can position in spots where your blind is a little bit more impactful. So it seems like you have some good ideas. Like right here, I saw you use that one blind. That one was pretty good. Right here, it seemed like you had a half an idea where like right here, you kind of blinded that way. I would blind here next time and have your Sova capitalize off of it. Maybe communicating with your teammates a little bit more. But yeah, especially like try to cut out like these plays, where you just like go for these like crazy TP stuff. I think that it works out sometimes, but when it doesn't work out, it really sucks. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful for you, man. And I'll see you guys in the next one.